Hey everyone. So this week we have quite a bit of work to do. We're second to the last step right now. This is from last fall. So this is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be completing this results table. This is with outliers, and when the outliers are removed, we can usually add more stuff. But essentially what we're doing is we're now going to start looking at the priorities by site, by class code, and by cause all together. So, like right here, I've got Pointet. This is from fall. This is Pointet, class code 4484, manual material handling outliers removed. And so I've got my charts here, or my figures. You can see our square values are very low. We also calculated the annual average. And so we'll be using the annual average as our estimated loss. So for this particular cause, we're looking at about... Is it 8,000? Yeah, about 8,000. So that's going to be our, estimated loss for this particular priority. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing is recreating this table and doing figures for it. And it's good, just going to be repeating it over and over and over again. And that's kind of what takes more time. So what we're going to do is I'll probably just take the outliers in detailed cause, and I'll build from that, and then just go from there, basically. So let's bring back where we were. So here's my table of contents. I've got my tabs numbered, named. I brought over some of the stuff, not all of it yet, and then I've got my tabs all numbered and colored so I can follow what I'm doing. Now, as I said before, I'm going to start with the detailed cause here. This is where I'm going to start. I'm going to copy this and bring it over. Copy, new tab. Here we go. All right. So now, I have to move it over. So it's going to be right here. So this is going to be 16. This is going to be, I'm going to start with Pointet. So I'm just going to say poi. I don't know what class code I'm doing, so I'll have to enter that in a second. We're going to let the data tell us what we should be focusing on. And that's what takes so long, is we have to let the data tell us what's going on. So first foremost, we got everything here, right? And Pointet was our number one rank. So that's why we're starting with it. So now what I do is I'm going to go up above, I'm going to highlight the top row, turn it into a filter, and I'm going to filter by site. Site. A to Z is fine. And I'm going to delete every claim that is not a Pointet. So I took out corporate and Madison. So I'm going to hit right click, delete. Yes, I am actually deleting it versus cutting it. The outliers are still here. But what's interesting is now that I've removed all that, all of my tables down here have updated. I could probably shrink that down a little bit. So I just have Pointet. Only Pointet is represented up here as well. We know because we can compare. So here's the total. Oh, sorry. Here's the total. Here's the total. Here's the total. Here's the total. That's how we know what's our average, this much, and it's here. You see? It just got down to 0. So now what we want to do is we want to pick out our class codes that are priorities. And so what we typically would do would be highlight this, go to sort by RPN, high to low. RPN, largest to smallest. I always say that wrong, don't I? It didn't change. And so we've got 2 priorities here. And I mean, if we want to see what it represents, again, one way to estimate it is to go equal, click on what the total is. Oh, sorry, wrong one, sorry. Click on what the total is divided by the group. So the modified. And then we have to get rid of a lot of zeros. 74%. So the top 2 represent 74% of the claims at Pointet. And I'm going to do the same for total paid. 83. So yeah, we're going to focus on these 2. These are going to be the 2 class codes we're going to analyze within Pointet, because this is what they represent. Don't do what I'm doing. It's all confusing, and this should be a pretty table, but for right now, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what we're going to focus on, these two. So this is poinette. Now, what we can do, why don't we go ahead and do just a poinette trend, and then we'll do a poinette 3076 trend and a poinette 3179 trend. And then we'll look at the causes within the two class codes and see what we're going to focus on. Currently, we had 4 things ranked. I don't know what's going to happen when we get there. Hey, why don't we go ahead and do this too? Well, I'll go top 4. So I'll go equal this amount divided by this amount. And got to get rid of the decimal points. Whoop, I did it wrong. Sorry. I did the same thing I did before, didn't I? Equal this amount divided by this amount. There we go. Copy and paste. Oh, try that again. Copy and paste. There we go. 90. Whoa, geez, top 4. That's really high. So, yeah, I'm going to file, save as. And now what we're doing is priorities and forecasted losses. Yeah, that's basically what it's called. Good, save. All right, so I'm already saving my work. So what's the next step? We need to, I was going to bring over my table from my other thing. So again, here's this. I want to bring over this table right here. I'm going to have to bring in these as well. Copy. Where did I put that? Because positioning is important here. Put it right next. I put it above that, but right next to that. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so I think there are 4. Shrink that down a little bit, shrink that down a little bit, open that up a little bit. These all need to be made equal. I think if I go right here, it touches. I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. So I have some stuff I have to fill in. I didn't copy and paste it correctly. Yeah, so let's do this. Do I want that to touch? What does it look like again? It almost does. It's just one above. Oh, I should have done it one above. Okay. Let's go back over here. Back it up a couple. I'll go up one more. Let's see. What does this look like? Not good. Not good. That's better, right? Kinda. I don't know why the top things aren't. That's a little bit better. That's a lot better. Is it a picture? No. Okay, I'll go with that. All right. Now let's get this shrunk down a little bit and then clear it. It's already shrunk down? Oh, magnified quite a bit. So we're currently doing poinette. And outliers are included. Poinette, outliers included. All right. So I'm going to delete this. Delete this. I put the shading in there because that's something that shouldn't be filled in, and I'll go over that in a moment. And I think it's good to kind of show you. So we're going to be doing this. Can you guys see it? I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to provide this for you in a separate table so you can just copy and paste it. We're actually estimating to 2024 now. Might as well get that out there. And 2024. Okay. Could probably shrink that down a little bit. All right. I'm not really liking that. I think what I'll do is left justify everything. That's better. And then I can center justify all of this. Remember, I want to be consistent here. So we're going to have 4 estimates. So this is with outliers included, and then we'll do it without outliers, and then we'll have a pretty good thing. So Let's look over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some figures, and we're going to do an estimate. Oh, that doesn't look good. And I think these aren't good anymore. Yeah, because we did some sorting. So let's just delete this. We won't be confused. Everything else I think is correct. Yeah. Okay. So we got 189, got 189. This is the average. So there's some things we can do to make things easier, and that is the annual average count, but we can't have a decimal point. We need to round it down. And so for the table, average loss outliers included, I'm going to go equal. I'm going to go int for integer, and then I'm going to click on here. It's just going to say 29. Now, whenever I bring it around, it'll do that, except when I bring it to outliers, I need to change it to this thing here. Other things we have, the total paid average is equal to, and I'll go over here to the total paid. Here's the average. The average per claim is right here. No, that's the overall average. It's going to be right here. I forgot I got to do that. This is the equation. If I drop it down, yeah, there we go. It's a little bit lower because we're not using every single year. We're just using, like right here, we're using 2018 to 2022. Okay? So this would be the proper one. This makes sure that we have the right things going on, but the median, now it'd be nice if we could calculate the median, but I'm just going to go with the median up here. It's a little bit lower. It's more conservative. Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. Number of open claims is equal to... There we go. Oh, it's actually this plus this. Oh, no, right here. I wonder if it lets me do that. 20. Okay, good. And number of $0 claims. Count of 0 right here. Oh, okay. So I have all that information. Now what I can do is I can calculate the figures as well. Everything's to 2024. I like that. All right, so first thing we're going to do is calendar year and count. Oh, but we can't do that. We can only do, we do to 2023. Why? Because 2017 is not a full year. Remember, we started in September, and 2024, again, our calendar year, 2024 is, do we want to do this by calendar and policy year? Something I hadn't thought about. Kind of want to do it by calendar year, because that's what management kind of looks at. All right, let's go insert scatter plot. There we go. This is point at. I'm going to shrink this down just so the other one fits as well. All right, let's do the other one, which is the total paid. Again, we're doing 18 to 22. Insert scatter plot. We need to add the x-axis, and so I'm going to right-click on it and get here. I'm going to go edit. My x values are 18 through 22, and the name is total paid. Hit OK. Hit OK. All right. Bring this down a little bit. Bring this up a little bit. Not bad. All right, let's add, okay, so chart title. Didn't put it in there, did I? This is count, claim count. Count per calendar year. That's huge, so we're going to bring that down to 10. And for this, outliers included. Then I'll right click and do the trend line. And I want it to go out to 2024. It's important that we do that. I'm going to do both the equation and the R square. I do the equation because when we want to calculate, because I started tracking those things last time we did this. Not bad. It would be nice if this was to go format access. If it only went to 15 and started, to 25. The minimum, 2017, the maximum, 2025, yeah. Looks a little bit better. All right, let's do the same thing here. Add a trend line and go out a year. 2 years, sorry, we're at 2022. Display the equation and the R's. And what do we have? We have 17 to 25, 17 to 25. That's weird that, why isn't it? What's going on here? If I do a major one, does that do it? There we go. See, this one is actually, seems like it's a little bit wide. Yeah, I'm getting nitpicky. Stop. Okay, so let's fill in the top stuff here now, okay? So we've got the number of claims estimated by figure with stuff included. And so we do is we go up to 24 and then we go over and we estimate. It looks to be really pretty much halfway through 40 and 50, so I'm going to say 45. For total paid, this is tough. I mean, I might extend this down just to get maybe a better estimate. So it's between 200 and 250. This is about halfway. So I'm going to say, God, I wouldn't even say 220. I'm going to say 215. It's an estimate. So it's 215,000. So now I want to put in the figure values for the number of claims. The trend is, and we use the slope. It's a positive 4. See, it's 4.3, but I rounded down. The R-square value is 0.7584. You see it's right here. It's right here. That's what I'm looking at. For this, it's going up about 2772. And the R-square is a measly 0.126. So we will likely be using the annual average of the outliers removed for this one. That's probably what we'll be doing. Now this should also be written here. What if I do this? Copy. So again, there's going to be a lot of little bit of work. You know, it's the work we have to put in, you know, for this. I'm going to bring this back up. I just used that for estimates. Okay. These need to be made look better, just so you guys know. Hopefully you guys knew that. So save my work. Now I'm going to do a point outliers removed. So I'm going to copy. And, you know, this is typically where it's like, should I do the policy year or should I do the calendar year? You know, it's a really good question. I wish I had thought of it. So what did we have for better estimates? So for calendar year, we went from a 6.9 and a 7.4 to a 7 and a 9, which is really good. For policy year, we did a 6 and a 0.25, and it jumped up. But I think the other ones are better. But if we're going to be doing, you know, comparisons to the data that was provided to us, let's see, which one did we have more years? Let's go by that. So with outliers removed, for policy year, we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot better than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, isn't it? Though that's well, that's not bad either. Oh, these choices. I think we should do it both ways. I'm just going to go ahead and do it calendar, I think, because that's what I started with. And so we'll just keep doing that. Did I do it? Yeah. Okay. How do we do this? What we do is we turn the header row into a filter. We're going to filter by total paid, high to low, largest to smallest. Where are our outliers? Man, I keep losing that count, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the way down to How many did we take? Did we do 13? Oh, wait. Because it's just Poinette. I think there were 3 from Madison. Is that right? Let's by site. Let's see how many we're supposed to have. Poinette, the bottom one, accounted for how much? 37,000. So let's see where we were. Did I stop it at 37,000? I did. So there are 13. So that must mean, how many Madisons do we have in here? Just double checking my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 13 is 17. Oh, okay. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, that's where we are. It'd be nice if I had the real numbers in here, though. I'll have to fix that. But anyway, that's what I'm going to remove. 1 to 13. I'm going to do a cut. I'm going to go down here. Going to paste it. And now everything updated except for the figures. The figures are still based on the numbers I had just used. So let's do a few things here. First, let's go ahead and get the table stuff going on. So this is going to be equal to integer, parentheses, click on here. It's going to be 27. Okay. And why don't I go ahead and update these? So if I right click and select data, all I need to change, I believe, is the Y values. So I got to make sure I'm on my new sheet, and I'm just going to click and do this. It did change, just so you know. So we're now estimated. I'm going to try to blow this up a little more so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and do a 17. Boy. I don't know if I'm going to keep the same color. Maybe I'll go with like an orange for Poinette. I don't know. You guys decide what you want to do for colors. I'm going to update this one. Select data, edit, just the Y values. Make sure I'm on the right tab. It's telling me which ones I should be picking, so that's nice. Okay, now everything's updated. All right, let's go ahead and do this stuff. So total paid average is equal to, again, annual average, not the overall total, the average. Did I do that over here? Yeah, I did. Checking my work. The paid claim is down here. Average paid per claim. The median is up here. I realize it'd be better if we just took the median of the ones we have, but the number of open claims is this plus this. Didn't change. Interesting. Not what I expected. Number of $0 claims. 15. That didn't change. Of course, that wouldn't change when you take out the outliers. So all the outliers are closed. No. 3 of it. It should have gone down by 3. Why did it do that? So it should be, the open one should be 17. What the heck? Oh, I am so stupid. When I bring it over, it's going to update everything. Ugh. Great. Great, great. Ugh. I should have known. I should have known that. I think what I'm going to do is just delete this because it's not the right stuff. And I'm going to go equal. And I'm going to go back 1. And I'm going to click on here. And I'm going to hit return. And I'm going to click on it and drag it down. So I just did a portal. I don't like to do those. So now let's get rid of the decimal points here. It's not a perfect, copy paste, but if I click on here, what it's doing is taking it from another tab. It's right there. Okay. So all I did, I hit equal, and then I clicked on that tab and I dragged it down, and it just took them. So now I've got a comparison, and I'm not freaked out. So how many outliers were removed? 13. And what's the total amount? I don't know. Let's add it up. Actually, I can add it up here if I want. Equal the sum of total paid. It's a lot. It is a lot. All right, let's do the table estimates. These didn't change because I typed them in, which is nice. So what are we estimating here? I think it's below half, so I'm going to say 44. For the total amount, I gotta open this up a little bit. Oh, geez. That's crazy. It looked like it just improved all of a sudden. Okay, so it's 160. You see how much lower it is? 160, 1, 2, 3. It's because we took out the outliers. That's what that did. All right, so the outlier claims remove, it's the same thing. If I click and drag it down, so that's just the same thing as when I go to a different tab. You see, but I have to add the, what do you call it? Whatever that is. Cell justification thing. All right, so let's do so now we got to do the figure annual trend claims. Estimated number of claims and total paid. I did that. Oh, yeah, okay, so this is the trend. All right, so we got to do this. So it's 4.5, we're just going to go 4. The R-square value is 0.7569, which isn't too terrible. So that's probably what we'll use. There'll be 4 claims every year, an additional 4 claims every year total. For this one, it is 21,603, and it is 0.7424, which isn't too bad either. But again, the forecast is lower, but the trend is higher. Interesting, right? Not bad. Not bad at all. Save my work. So now within Poinette, I want to investigate the priorities. And I'm only going to do it for outliers removed. Okay. I did it without. We saw some improvements here. So now what I want to do is I need to look at these. So I want to look at just 3076. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. Copy. Uh-oh. There's that. Paste. And give me a second. It was thinking. So now what we want to do is we want to narrow it to our priority by class code. And so we're going to look at just 3076. So we're going to do something similar. I'm going to go up here above. And I'm going to sort everything. And I'm going to make it really simple on myself and go copy and paste. I'm just moving the header down for now. Just make things a little bit easier. Yeah, turn that into my header row and go data, filter. We're going to filter by class code right here. We'll just go A to Z. And what was the number we're going to be looking at again? 3076. So we're going to delete everything that's not 3076. There's a lot of them. Okay, 3076 right there. 3179. And so I'm going to delete all these. And that is going to update all of my tables. Okay. And then I got to go down below and delete everything that's not 3076. If there was a lot of them, I could do it all, fancy like. But because there's not that many down here, I'm just going to do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them. What's the total paid? Just curious. Get rid of the decimal points. Decimal? Wow, decimal. There. All right, so now let's look at, so we've got 3076. Let's see how it changed our cause priorities. I'm going to go ahead and do the sort. So I'm going to highlight everything except for the total. I'm going to do data. I'm going to do sort by RPN, largest to smallest. I always forget to say that. Largest to smallest. See how it changes. So some other things changed. First rank is the same. Second rank is the same. Let's see what the top 3. Ooh, top 3? Or is it top 4? The top 4 represent 82 and 84. That's amazing. Wow. But just looking at the magnitude of them, I really probably only want to do the top 3. So let's see what that would be. Instead of the 78, it's going to be 77. 74, not bad. Not bad. And 60, yeah, I'm going to do top 3, you guys. I mean, and we'll see, oops, and we'll see, I meant to do this. We shall see how the first 2 go, all right? We'll see how the first 2 go. All right, so I could just go ahead. I need to update some of these figures first. So first I'm going to go in here and do select data and edit. And I got to change the Y values to the tab we're on. There should be a highlighted area. There's not. Oh, what were we looking at? Isn't it just this? I should have highlighted it. I think I messed that up. So this is going to be 18 poi 3076. All right, let's take a look at that again, okay? Let's make sure. So we've got 95. We got, okay, so we're looking at 95 things. Yeah, things got a little bit messed up here because this is just 307. So it's still point at. Outliers are removed. Yeah, I didn't do my homework here. Okay. Now we're doing outliers. Point at 3076. Outliers removed. All right. So we do not have the outliers included anymore. We're doing only outliers removed. And these should have automatically updated. And they did. Thank you. Thank you, Excel, finally. Yes. Good. Okay. The figures we have to update, though. So let's make sure that we got the right data. I'm going to this edit. First, I'm going to go on to make sure I'm on my page. This is count. Oh, shoot. Now that's going to mess everything up. Whatever. Make sure I'm on my tab. I think I am. Hit OK. I hope that's right. Yeah, it did change, didn't it? I think it did. Let's go ahead and do select data, edit. We're going to change our Y values. Okay, that one went back. There we go. Now it's going to be total paid 18 through 22, right? We actually have another one that may give us some better insight there. I think that's correct. So the R-square values are going to go down because we have less data points. And even with the outliers removed. Let's make sure. So in 21 and 22, they're very different years. 21, yes. So 2021, for some reason, very, very low. Kind of a weird trend. And when we have these really low R-squares, we're probably going to go to the annual average as our estimated loss, right? And we haven't even started looking at this stuff. We're just kind of setting ourselves up right now. So let's get these numbers put in too, just for the hell of it. So it's just above 25. So I'll say 26. It is just below 80,000. So I'll say 75,000. Outliers removed. Need to update that. It is 8. Actually, I could just go equal. Where's equal? There it is. Equal 8 and equal. I probably could have built something down below that would automatic. Oh, I think maybe I did. That looks like it was correct. Sometimes I think, sometimes I don't. So what's the annual trend? 3. What's the R squared? 0.5989. Not good. It is now 11,325 and only 0.4769. So if we were to go with these numbers right here, that next year there'll be 15 claims for this particular class code. It'll be about a total of 37. That is a very conservative number because we're not including 8 outliers, which are worth this much. We also can look at our 2023. It's already at 98. So very low estimate. Very low. What would happen if we were to extend this? I don't know why, but for some reason, yeah, something was wrong there. If I go this, go here, if we go 18 through 30, hit OK. Look at that. That improved. That went higher. Our estimate is now, I gotta format access, the majors make it a 1, hit return. So in 2020, oh, wait, now I got to reduce it by 1, too. Come on. What are you doing, dude? There, now it did it. It's about 100,000. I think that's probably a better estimate since 2023 is already up there. Okay, so I just did something. I shouldn't have, maybe. But for the sake of, it improved things, I think I'm going to go ahead. No, is the other one to 23? Yeah, it is. It's kind of all over the place. These didn't change. These changed. So that's still 3. That's still that. But now this goes up to 15,777. And this goes up to 0.6997. It looks better too. It's just 2021. If it had stayed in the trend, this would have been much, much higher. If I was to take this year out, you want to see what would happen? 2021, where are you? Right here. Watch this. Now it's at a 0.4, and then we would be using it to estimate 110. One weird year. And maybe in 2021, maybe there was some expensive stuff too. Let's see. Do we have 2021? I don't know which one's calendar. I think this one is C calendar. No, D is. D is calendar. Is there a 2021? There are 2. And yeah. That's why it's doing that. These are all estimates, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a perfect science. There's some art to it. And so now I'm kind of thinking that's not bad. Okay, wait, I forgot to do this up here. Sorry. That's still 26, but now this is 100,000. And I still think that's conservative because it doesn't include that much. This isn't one of our things that we're going to be promoting, though. Save my work. Now what we need to do, and did I already do this? Did I say I was only going to look at the top 2, possibly? Maybe the top 3? Again, don't do this coloring. I'm doing that just to kind of point things out for you guys. So we're going to look at 3076, and we're going to look at these 2 other causes. So I'm going to highlight my work, or this tab, copy it, open up a new tab, and I'm going to look at these 2 things. So I'm going to go paste up, and I'm going to double click on this, and this is going to be 19, and this is going to be POI 3076, manual material handling. That's what I'm going to focus on. And what's the second one? Cut, puncture, scrape. So I'm going to go ahead and do another copy paste. Copy. This is going to be 20. Now what I'm actually doing on these 2 are going to be probably recommended areas for focus. You know, where to focus, what to focus on. That's what we're going for. Okay? And this is going to be 20. This is POI 3076. This is cut, puncture, scrape. And so we need to do this same thing with the other class code and see what those causes are. Then we need to do it with Madison and Madison's class code. So we're working our way down. This is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to end here after I analyze these 2, and then I'm going to come back and we'll look at the other point at class code and we'll look at the Madison stuff. I should be able to accomplish all that at once. Oh, somebody's alarm's going off, not mine. All right, so I'm going to highlight. Sorry if that's annoying. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. That's just 3076. This is 2019. And we're just going to look at manual material handling. So we have to turn the header row into a filter and sort by cause. And then we're going to delete everything that's not manual material handling. Oh. I wasn't looking in the... There it is. Okay, sorry. I was looking in the wrong thing here. Manual material handling. I probably should open that up so we can see it. And I'm going to get rid of these. And then I got to go down and do the same thing with the outliers. I'm going to do it manually. It's kind of nice doing it manually. When I used to analyze big data sets, I'd have to came up with equations to do it all. Delete. All right, so we're down to 4 and that much money. Okay. Do the same thing. Save your work. Go over here. Zoom this in. I'm going to turn the header row into a filter. We're going to filter by cause. And this one, we're going to get rid of everything that is not cut, puncture, scrape. Because that's what our priority said was important when we did the Pareto. There. Okay. All right, let's go down here and we will eliminate the ones that are not cut, puncture, scrape. There are none. 0. Which is why looking at repetitive motion or slip, trip, and fall, there are outliers there. So I'm just going to go delete and 0. 0 and 0. All right, let's do, should we do repetitive motion? Do we want to do repetitive motion right now? Just to see what happens? I mean, there's only 15 claims. Total's not high. Miscellaneous is there. Slip, trip, and fall isn't even a... It was a priority with outliers removed. It dropped down here. Repetitive motion. There's not a lot of money. But you see how we do that? It's just you figure it out. And let's do these analyses and see what happens, okay? So we got to go up here. We're doing the same thing. We're only looking at Poinet 3076 manual material handling. There are 33 claims. The total amount is about $99,000. Over here, everything has been somewhat updated. So let's look in here. So 5, yes, that is correct. 12,000 a year average, that is correct. So all this stuff is updated. So is this. So is that. As far as we have to update the figures. So right click, select data, edit. We're just going to change the Y values on our tab. They should be highlighted, but they're not. I hate when it doesn't do that. We go 18 through 23. Hit OK. That changed it. Let's do this one too. Select data, edit. We're going to do the Y values on here. And we're going to go 18 through, I'm going to do through 23 because you see the numbers higher. Hit OK. Why did it do that? Is it going to take a while and then it's going to work? Do you see I rotated it off and then it changed when I came back? Sometimes that happens when you work with big stuff. So what's the estimate now? 2024. It's basically 10. So 10 claims. The amount is just above 40. So I'm going to say 42,000. Okay, what is this thing here? It's 1.37. I put in 1. This is 0.6672. This amount here is about 7,199. 7,199. R squared is 0.7757. So this is one of our priorities. 30076. Manual material handling. MMH. Okay. So, are these strong enough to use as an estimate? I think so. I mean, 2021 has 2021. What a weird year, right? It's down here, but it's up there. Weird. Maybe there's $0 claims or something. Probably all right there. I think I feel good enough to say that without any changes at Poinet, for the people who are class code 3076, they're going to have 10 claim. Wait. Yeah, 10. They'll probably have 10 claims. It'll probably cost this much. And oh, by the way, we're not including 4 claims that were $50,000 on average. That's basically what we're saying. So that's what we're basically going to be recommending. We'll be bringing this over. I'm going to get rid of this right here. And no fill. And this is going to be our recommendation because the way this stuff looks. And so I'm just going to, that's what I'm going to be putting in as a recommendation. So one of my first recommendations. So recommendation is to invest. So we're going to estimate the money in a little bit. Invest in manual material handling, or I should say study. It should be study. But I mean, we're going to ask for, okay, I'm not ready to talk about this yet. But this is going to be one of our recommendations. That's what I'm going to highlight it. Why? Because these aren't too bad. I'm looking at the trend. It's pretty good. Hit save. All right, let's do the next one. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so we don't have any outliers. I need to update this. Select data, edit. The Y values. I got to get onto the correct tab. And it's 18 through 23. Hit OK. Hit OK. Do the same thing with the total paid. Select data. Edit. The Y values. I have to get on my tab. It goes to the original tab. That's why it does that. That's why we have to physically move over here and do it this way. Oh, but look at the 2023, it goes down. Let's leave it in. See what happens. Hit OK. Hit OK. Scroll off the page. Come back. So cut, puncture, scrape had a pretty rough year. There are no outliers. There were more of them in 2023, but they weren't as expensive. How many open claims do we have? There's none. Okay. Cut, puncture, scrape typically isn't that expensive to treat, but the count makes me think that it's going to require some study, even though it's not going to result in much as far as an ask to management. Okay. So what's our estimated this year? It's below 4. So I'm going to have to say 3. The total amount that's probably going to be paid is about $8,000. 0, 0. Let's see, what's the trend? The trend is less than 1. I really could say 0. So we estimate there's going to be 3. I mean, it was really high though, so I'm going to say less than 1. Our square is horrible. This might be one where we stick with the average of 3. Okay, what's this amount here? $69. And 0.0007, really bad. So because these are so rough, we're going to go with these numbers here. So we'll be focusing on, for the 3076 at Poinet, we're going to focus on cut, puncture, scrape. We estimate there's going to be 3 claims next year, totaling about $8,000. Not a lot, but that's our estimate because this stuff is whack. And as you go down in data, you know, as you start narrowing, it gets more difficult and difficult to find really decent trends. Kind of manipulate this a little bit so we can see things. But you saw where we started, you guys, with the outliers included and what the trends were showing us. And then as we narrow to our priorities, you know, it gets a little bit difficult. It makes it tough. There we go. Yeah. But we want to report all this stuff. That, you know, here's our priorities, but what color should we give our priorities? I already used green, didn't I? If I didn't, that would be a good thing to use because it's like, this is the money ones. If I use green, I'm going to be upset. I didn't. Yay. I used cold colors, and now I'm using green, lively colors. I'm going to do one more, 3076, and I'll try repetition, I think. But you see how our work builds upon itself, but we're kind of doing the same thing. Hit paste and go over here. I might delete this, so I'm not going to name it yet. So Poinet 3076, what did we have for the third one? It was repetition. And so let's do repetition. All right, so what do? So you guys can see we turn the header row into a filter. We filter by cause. We get rid of everything that is not repetitive motion. And some of you might be saying, well, could we include repetitive motion with manual material handling? It depends on what type of work they're doing. It's possible. So not that many, you guys. We go down here. We got to eliminate everything that's not repetitive motion. I believe we do have one, though. Yeah, that one. Get rid of all these. Delete. One outlier. $37,000. That should be represented up here, and it is. We do the same thing. We do the update. Select data, edit, change the Y values, go on to our actual tab, 18 through 23. Click it in, hit OK, hit OK. Same thing with total paid. Select data, click on it, edit. We're just going to do the Y values. Go to our tab. Do that over and over and over again. 18 through 23. Hit OK. All right. Did it do it? Like scroll off and come back. Did we have a bunch of zeros? No, just like ones and twos. Okay. How about amounts though? Really low amounts. But look at that. Man, it appears to be something that's increasing in the past couple of years. I may want to include it just because of this. In the past 3 years, we've had a lot. And a 0.76. Huh. That's kind of crazy, right? Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Let's update our numbers. I'm going to include this. This is interesting. All right, that's already updated. What's the estimate? It's below 5, so I'm going to have to say 4. The total amount is just above 20,000, so I'll say 21,000. We're not including that. The figure is going up less than 1 per year. Our square value is 0.84876. The amount here is 4,186. I did 86 because it's a 0.8. I rounded up a little bit. Not a big deal. Just a dollar. And this is wow, that's impressive. 0.7646. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. What was I doing, you guys? 0.7646. And I think this is what I'm going to use. I do. I mean, it may seem like a little bit of a high estimate on things, but that concerns me that we're in a trend over the last 3 years of it going up quite a bit. I think it deserves. So we have a third recommendation here, just in .at 3076. POI 3076. And this is repetitive motion. Okay. And I'll give it a green. Interesting. I mean, it actually generates more. I'm going to write on here in a little bit. I got to remember what I used to write. We're about an hour into this. I've got 3 priorities. We may end up with like, I don't know, 6, 7, or 8. But it'll be a lot of this repetition stuff that I just did and some decision making, which is why I'm going to do it all for you. And you guys just have to kind of, have an open mind. So I'm going to save my work. I'm going to end here. When I come back, I'm going to go right from this spot, and I'm going to do the other .at, the 3179. There may be 1, there may be 2. Maybe it's not good. I don't know. And then we'll do the Madison. All right. See you later.